So your next fight, who we got?
Uh, I don't know, but
Welcome to Watch the Fight Boxing Talk, back with another video. Today we're reviewing the interview of Errol Spence by his girlfriend AO. Shout out to AO for producing this awesome interview. Kudos to her. She was a little nervous in the beginning, but she did a great job overall, and the finished product is outstanding. The link to the full interview on AO's page will be linked in the description of this video. Y'all go check out her page, like and subscribe to her channel too. There's a few things in that video that I wanted to talk about that Errol spoke about, which includes training camps, PTSD, UGAS and the Mouthpiece controversy, and Crawford negotiations. So I'm going to talk about those specific parts, and I'll play a few snippets from their interview as well. So let's get to it. All right, so let's start with training camps. Errol mentioned that he wasn't as disciplined and focused as he should have been. So his weight would get as high as 185 pounds sometimes, which made training camp very rough for him, to the point that he would actually dread fight camp because he had to work harder just to drop the weight in a short amount of time. Now, Errol is a high-level elite boxer as it is, so hearing him say that makes me wonder how much sharper he would have been in his previous fights if he didn't spend so much time and energy and focus on dropping weight. Now, that's scary. I think it was actually a blessing to his opponents at the time that he wasn't on his A+ game, because that would have been crazy. But listen to Errol describe training camp.
I feel like the training camps be harder than the fights.
Nah, you gotta fight. Which one was your hardest fight?
The training camps, that's a fight.
So which training camp then? Was there specific?
No fights before the fight, because usually I know before I used to get up to 185, and just no, it was that's why I say training camps, because that was a fight. It was just battling, hanging out, having fun, partying, doing different things, and then okay, I got a fight day. I got 8 weeks to train. Now I gotta lose 30, 40 pounds.
And you were so moody when you were in camp.
Super moody. I'm not losing weight the right way. I'm wearing sauna suits. I'm not eating how I'm supposed to eat. I'm doing it the old school way, thinking I'm gonna starve myself and not drink water to make the weight. So basically.
But you're not doing that anymore.
I'm not doing that anymore. I got nutritionists and stuff, which I should have done back then, but just being cheap, man. Dread having a fight. I used to hate, I used to dread, I gotta go back to training camp. Now I gotta kill myself to make me weight. And I was doing it the wrong way, and I'm worried about what I eat. I'm cooking for myself. And that just, put a kind of a dark cloud over my head a little bit, especially in training camp. Never happy, just always agitated, frustrated, man. It gets to the point 2, 3 weeks for the fight, nobody even talking to me. Cause, I'm just so agitated and just angry for no reason.
Errol also opened up about having PTSD due to his major car crash in October of 2019, and then the more recent one in December of 2022, where a teenager on a joyride in his parents' vehicle crashed into Errol's vehicle. I thought this was interesting because we don't really hear Errol talk about mental health at all, not directly at least, but I think PTSD falls in that category. And the fact that he deals with his trauma on his own terms, away from the spotlight, and doesn't let it define or defeat him, speaks to his warrior spirit and his true grit. He never uses it as an excuse, and this is actually the first time that I can remember hearing him speak about it in an interview, right? And I'm only highlighting this moment just to remind boxing fans that our favorite boxers are human too. Right, I watched an interview of the Charlo twins on I Am Athlete recently. Yeah. And Jamal Charlo alluded to him dealing with his own issues in his personal life that affect him as a boxer both in and out of the ring. So I find it interesting how these boxers shoulder their struggles and they keep it out of the public eye the way that they do it. Really, there's little room for emotional expression, distress, or any type of support in combat sports. So it must be heavy for them to deal with the stress that they do and still commit to performing at such elite high levels. So just a reminder to be kinder to our favorite combat athletes. They're humans that struggle with the same pressures and fears and doubts and insecurities that the rest of us do. So shout out to them for winning so many battles, both inside and outside the ring. But here's what Errol had to say about PTSD.
Do you think that you have any like PTSD from the ring?
Yeah, I do. I definitely got PTSD. Even when I'm driving, like I stop at a red light, and I just vision like somebody running into me, or if I'm driving, I just vision somebody veering into me, or somebody hitting me.
That's scary.
Or I get nervous when I'm driving, and like I'm by the wall. Like I can't drive by the wall.
Yeah.
Like I gotta drive in the middle of the highway. Like if I'm by the wall, I just feel like I'm gonna hit the wall, or somebody gonna hit me, something like that. Like I always get different thoughts of me having a car crash or somebody running into me, or something happening. Yeah.
Horrific event that happened.
Video from the security camera at Knockout Sports Bar captured the crash around 2:45 in the morning. You can see the white sports car start flipping and barely miss a light pole as it traveled across lanes into oncoming traffic before landing on the other side of Riverfront Boulevard. Police say Errol Spence Jr. was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle. Two vehicles can be seen on the video afterward, driving through the wreckage without stopping. Witnesses told police Spence was conscious when he was taken to Methodist Hospital, where he has broken teeth, among other injuries.
Spence versus Ugas. So, in the Mouthpiece controversy, a lot of his critics and detractors chastised Errol for his momentary lapse in judgment after Ugas knocked his mouthpiece out. Lawrence actually did order them to stop the action before Ugas continued with that infamous two-piece. And that's why Ugas stopped fighting right after that combo, because the referee did, in fact, yell, "Stop." We thought Errol got distracted by the mouthpiece, but he was actually concerned if his dentures came out. Well, he specifically called them partials, but I think that's what they call it, because you can have like a complete or a full set of dentures, or you can just have a partial set. But that's above my pay grade. So, anywho, that would have been a nightmare for Errol personally. So it's a legit safety concern if your dentures come out due to blunt force. So I completely understand his reaction now, even though at first, when it happened in that moment, I thought that was a rookie mistake. So listen to Errol describe that moment.
Okay, so back to Ugas. What happened with the mouthpiece?
Well, a lot of people don't know that my mouthpiece actually don't fit my mouth, because that's one of the insecurities I had, because after my car accident, that's something I was going through even with Danny Garcia fight. After my car accident, a lot of my teeth had got knocked out, so they had put a partial in my mouth, and I kept having different surgeries and having to go to the doctor like once every 2-3 weeks, and get them to work on my mouth, even while training for the Danny Garcia fight.
Mhm.
So even when Danny Garcia fought, my mouthpiece fell out because I had a partial in my mouth. Well, I took the partial out of my mouth that fight. And then, but that happened. And then with the Ugas fight, I still didn't get a mouthpiece because I didn't want to go to the doctor and get a mouthpiece because it was just embarrassing. I felt like it was embarrassing because I had a partial in my mouth, and
You had a record, you can't control it.
yeah, but it's just super embarrassing. Like I don't, what am I
I can see how it could be.
It's embarrassing, like because with my partial, what you do is I take it out every night, clean it. And when I put it in the morning, I got some glue. I put glue on it, and then I stick it in my mouth. And then after like 2 days, the glue come off again, and I take it out. We'll clean it over again, and put it back in my mouth. So for me, that was definitely embarrassing. So I didn't want to.
But not everybody knew that. Oh, you're saying that's why you didn't want to say something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say nothing. Even with the Ugas fight, when he knocked my mouthpiece out, I wasn't hurt. I mainly went off because I thought he had knocked my partial out too. Yeah, I thought he knocked my teeth out. So I went off like that because I'm like, man, I hope he didn't knock my teeth because that's more embarrassing. I wasn't worried about getting knocked out. Like that's why I was feeling for my mouth. I was feeling, in my mouth for my teeth. So I thought he had knocked it out. So I'm like, and that's when I had turned because I didn't want the camera to see,
Yeah.
I ain't had no teeth in my mouth. Like, I've been embarrassing as hell.
Yeah.
So I went off a little bit, and then he had hit me. So it was definitely my fault. But like I said, the reason why I did it because I thought he had knocked my partial out of my mouth, knocked my teeth out, and that would have been I was more embarrassed more than anything. Because usually I take the partial out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I take the partial out of my mouth and dare slip in my mouthpiece before I fight on a slick, so people can't. Yeah, so people can't see it.
Okay.
Like we practice that. We practice in black room, like him putting it in my mouth.
So go back and watch the fight, girl.
Yeah, him putting it back in my mouth. Nah, the Ugas fight, I had my partial in. I had it in. With Dan Garcia fight, I didn't have it in.
See, you ain't never told me that.
Yeah, Dan Garcia fight, I didn't have it in. Like when I got in the ring, he had to put my mouthpiece in, and Dan Garcia fight, hurry up on the slick. Like I turned around, he put it in. I mean, something he had to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But the Ugas fight, I thought he had knocked my whole partial out. Because I made sure I glued it super. There was a lot of glue in it, so it wouldn't come out. So I'm like, man, I know my teeth didn't come out. So that's why I went off and looked. Because I thought he had knocked on the ground. That shit would be embarrassing as hell.
Sequence. Spence is burned. Spence is nice. Oh my God.
Now we know what really happened. But as for the negotiations with Crawford, Errol mentioned that him and Crawford are talking directly, and they have been talking for some time now. Errol is once again sticking to his word. Right? Years ago, he mentioned that he shouldn't have talked about the purse splits and the negotiations publicly. He learned from that, and he's applying it now by handling everything behind the scenes, which is much more professional. He said they had a long phone call talking about family life and other things, and most importantly to the boxing world, they talked about negotiations for the fight. He said that the negotiation convo went well, and both of their teams are negotiating the business parts. So this is great news for us because it alludes that we're on track to making the fight happen, and it seems that they're both interested in fighting each other. So we don't really need to blame either side anymore. We can't rush the process. We just got to trust the process.
So your next fight, who we got?
I don't know, but me and Crawford are definitely in the talks. We've been talking, so hopefully it can be me and him.
We're gonna start right into our negotiations going better than what they were before.
Yeah, definitely. Me and Crawford, when we was talking directly, we were probably on the phone for probably 40 minutes, 30 minutes. We probably spent 15 minutes talking about, the negotiation part and stuff like that. We just talking about, getting a feel for each other and, basically talking about our families and, current situation we had going on and stuff like that. And then we start talking about, boxing and us fighting and negotiations and things like that. But it went well, and our teams are still negotiating. We still having talks. So it's going very well.
We'll see after this fight, and to my fault, it's something that I'm not gonna talk about to the public and stuff like that, and things that oh, I need this, well, he need to do this, he need to do that. For me, boxers have, we got egos too. Somebody telling me I need to do something, or I need to do this, or he telling me I need to do this and I need to do that. That just plays into it. So not the fight not happening, that plays into it. So I just feel like you just need to happen behind closed doors, and something that our teams talk about, and hopefully the fight can be made. So I definitely think it's very promising, especially with me snatching this other belt from Ugas. So we'll see.
Okay, awesome. So that was everything that I wanted to touch on from the original interview with AO and Errol Spence Jr. Some other things that I didn't cover that Errol also talked about was family life, relationships, and other personal matters. So go watch that interview in its entirety on AO's page. It's linked in the description also. Please like and share this video for me. I'm looking forward to vibing with y'all on the next upload. So catch y'all next one.